Hello everyone, this is Boricua Binks and welcome back to Let's Play Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. In the last episode, we finally finished off with Dahlia Hawthorne. She got her comeuppance. Mia got to send her back to hell. It was awesome. And pretty much we thought, okay, well we proved that Iris didn't do it, so it should be over, right? Wrong. Since Godot's like, well, we still haven't figured out who killed her. So we're still continuing on with the trial. This is the final battle, and then we'll be set. So now we just need to talk to poor Maya. She's been through a lot, so I feel pretty bad to be doing this to her. All right, let's go. February 10th, 3:36 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 7. Okay.
Now then, before we proceed any further, I'm going to announce the results of the tests we had performed earlier.
Tests?
Yes, tests. On the bloody dagger that was found stuck in the pine tree.
Oh yeah, that. I totally forgot about it.
That's the weapon that Maya Fey used when she fought with the victim.
So, what are the results? Was it the victim's blood, or...?
Due to time constraints, a full test wasn't possible. However, there's one thing we can say with certainty. The blood that was on this dagger was not the victim's blood.
Ooh, interesting. Then whose blood is it?
That is all. Now then, let's restart this trial.
So, it wasn't Misty's blood on the dagger. Then whose was it? Okay, dagger updated.
I'm sure both the defense and the prosecution know this, but this trial is rapidly coming to a close. Both sides will need to show some firm evidence with their claims.
Oh, you okay, Kiba? Sorry if you heard that. I understand, Your Honor.
From what I've heard, the witness is dangerously weak, physically speaking. So, let's finish this quickly.
Agreed. Okay, good.
Very well. Please bring in the last witness.
Poor Maya. She's been through so much.
Witness, please tell us your name and profession.
Maya Fey. My profession is, I'm the assistant manager at Wright & Co. Law Offices.
She kind of hesitated there. You're also a spirit medium, but I guess right now you kind of don't want to even be that at all.
Maya.
God, it's been forever since we've seen her, since I've had to do her voice. It's like, wow.
According to the magazine I have here, you're a spirit medium of the Korean channeling technique.
I'm frightened. The Fey clan. I don't want any more to do with it.
Aww. Oh, Maya. The pain the Fey bloodline causes must be unbearable.
Very well. Now then, Miss Fey. When the event occurred, you were in the garden of the inner temple, and you witnessed the moment of Miss Elise Donham's murder. Is this correct?
I didn't see anything.
Oh?
Straighten up this moment, young lady.
Huh?
Pick your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later.
Huh. This is interesting, the way he's talking to her. It's not like his usual being a douche. It's more like he's kind of telling her, you can do this, just be strong for now.
But I...
Your mother was killed right in front of your eyes. There's nothing you can do to change that fact. But there's something you can do. You can finish this. You've been watching the whole thing, right? You've seen the witnesses come out, and you've seen us squeeze the truth out of them. Now it's your turn. Let's hear your testimony. On the night of the crime, what exactly did you see happen?
Witness, if you please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Poor Maya. Oh, my baby. At the inner temple.
I was passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room when it happened. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. I stumbled and ended up against a stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Help me!" Then something warm splashed over me. That's when I lost consciousness.
So you were struck on the head. I suppose it must have been this staff.
Maya, the person who hit you. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it?
I'm sorry, Nick. I couldn't see. I don't know who it was.
Maya, think hard.
Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't.
Huh. Can't say it was an especially good night for young ladies to be walking around alone.
It seems that it will be hard to determine the criminal through testimony alone. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your cross-examination.
Maya, hang in there. She doesn't look well at all. At the inner temple, okay. So she was passing through the garden when it happened. Someone struck her over the head. She stumbled, ended up against a stone lantern. Screamed, "Help me." Let's press on that. You think you screamed, but you're not sure?
Listen, I was a complete wreck. It was dark, and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man? A woman? An adult? A child? I had no idea. I was scared out of my wits.
Believe me, my dear, I'm certain I would have soiled my robes.
I thought this person might attack me, so I... Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought that it was my last hope.
Wow, it sounds like poor little Maya really was out of her mind. But I wonder what she meant by last hope. What do I do? Do I press her for more details? What did she scream? My last hope. Let's ask about her last hope. Wait a minute, Maya. What's this my last hope stuff?
What? What do you mean by your last hope?
No. That's what you said. You said my last hope.
Huh? What? I said what?
Maya, please. Look, you were facing an attacker that you couldn't see and you screamed, right? You screamed, "Help me."
Yeah.
But you testified that you screamed that because you thought it was your last hope.
Oh, well, that's like, what do you call it when that happens?
Maya's not doing so well up there.
Oh, yeah, Oh, that's right. I remember now. I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at.
What did you just say?
Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker that I was yelling at. That's who I was screaming to for help.
Ah.
Ah!
What is it now?
I messed up. I didn't mean to let that slip out.
Wait, what? Maya? Huh?
Witness, are you absolutely sure of what you're saying? Behind the attacker, there was another person.
I am. Well, I meant to keep that part a secret. What have I done?
What do you mean you're keeping secrets from me? Maya, how could you?
It takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I always say.
A ton of pressure.
You're in a court of law here. You can't make things up or try to hide things in this chamber.
Witness, the information you just presented is vital to the case. I want you to add it to your testimony.
I could see a man behind my attacker by the light of the stone lantern.
Wait a minute. The lantern was not lit, girl. Yeah. Maya?
So there was a man standing behind your attacker.
Yeah.
That man. He's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Elise Donham, otherwise known as Misty Fey, your mother.
The killer.
Maya, you know who killed your mother, don't you?
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright?
To be frank, Your Honor, I think she is in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed the huge problem with her testimony.
Huh? What do you mean? What problem?
Maya, on the night of the crime, that stone lantern was out of commission.
Huh? What?
It's true. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night.
No!
Order! Order in the court! Mr. Godot, explain this.
Add the pureness of milk to the perfect clear darkness of coffee. Stir.
Sir, you are not. This is not a cooking channel. What are you doing?
That is the state of the witness's mind right now. A cup of café au lait.
Café au lait? Is that even legal?
What?
Mr. Trite's words are the milk, and you are the spoon, Your Honor.
I'm a spoon. I'm no spoony bard, I'll have you know.
You must have noticed it too, Trite. This witness's mental state is highly unstable right now. It's not hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that.
Dude, you just... Sorry, but that's not going to cut it.
What did you say?
If there truly was no light in the garden, then there's a fatal contradiction in the witness's last bit of testimony.
Nick?
May I? Recall the witness's statement about her attacker. She said that she didn't know if it was a man or a woman, an adult or a child. And yet, the witness could describe a person that was standing behind her attacker, and she quite clearly described him as a man.
Ah!
In other words, that would have to mean that Maya actually saw our mystery person. Despite it being so dark that she couldn't see the face of the attacker in front of her.
No!
Maya, what are you doing?
Order! 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 What in the world does this all mean, Mr. Wright? Are you saying Miss Fay saw the real killer under pitch-black conditions?
Objection!
Trite, do you have any idea what you're proposing? How could she have seen in the dark? There was no other light source at the scene.
There are some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Godot. Ooh, I like this confidence, Phoenix.
Maya, you did see who the killer was in the dark. And now, you're trying to cover for him.
Cover for the man that killed her mother?
What would make her want to do that?
There's only one conclusion I can draw from this. You know who this man is.
Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you.
Ha! You talk a good game, Trite. But let's see if you can walk the walk. It was pitch black, so what could the witness see? I'm calling your bluff.
No, Nick, don't. Please, stop.
I'm sorry, Maya. Maya is dead set on protecting this guy. The man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. But he also saved her life, so that's why she's probably more inclined to protect him. But I can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer, an officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth.
Alright, Mr. Wright. Time to show us what you've got. Who was this person that you say Miss Fay saw in the darkness?
There's some things you can only see in the dark, huh? Maybe something that glows in the dark? Like this?
Because it was pitch black, Miss Fay was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure the court would like to see for itself how this is possible, yes?
What? But how do you propose to show us something like that?
It's easy. We just need to recreate the conditions of that night.
Conditions?
Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all the lights in this courtroom be turned off.
It's like pitch black. Wow.
What? This is... But it can't be.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
that was a nice bit of deduction. Trite.
Oh boy. This is pretty amazing. When I first played this game, I was like, holy crap, that's cool. And also, oh my god, the prosecutor is a killer? What? Like, wow. I mean, okay, that did happen in the first game too with Von Karma. But that was like a past case. This is the present case. It's like, wow.
Well, everyone, this is the man Maya saw on the night of the murder.
Man, and Godot's been pushing us to solve this, so that's kind of strange.
Order, order, order! Prosecutor Godot, what is the meaning of this? Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denying it?
Ha! Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person.
What do you mean by that?
If you've got a question, ask the witness. That's one of my rules.
Well, Maya, how about it?
What you saw that night, was it 3 glowing red lights?
Well, witness, answer the question.
Don't you lie on that stand, girl.
You're wrong. I never saw that.
Maya!
I thought the person that stabbed my mother was a man. For a totally different reason.
What? What?
Oh dear.
Witness, Mr. Wright, what the...
Stop your chattering, Your Honor.
Chattering?
If it's worth asking, ask the witness. That's one of my rules.
Alright. Well then, let's continue with the testimony. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man.
Darn it, I thought we had him right there. Darn.
Yes, Your Honor. I didn't realize it until after I woke up, but
The killer.
when I came to, I was just lying there on the training hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. The torches were lit, and the body was gone. And all of the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up too. Since the person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man.
Oh, come on, like a woman couldn't do that.
So it was after the crime took place that the witness came to think the killer was a man.
Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No need to apologize. It's as Mr. Godot said. You're utterly exhausted. It's only natural that you would be a little confused. Also, if you consider the situation you described, it doesn't seem too much of a stretch to assume the criminal was a man. Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination.
Maya, why are you making this so much harder for me? Okay, you were lying there. Things totally changed. Torches were lit. Body was gone. Carefully cleaned up too. Let's press this one.
So you're saying that you never saw the killer, right?
yes.
But earlier you very clearly stated that you saw a man behind your attacker.
Nick, I'm sorry.
The killer certainly went through a lot of trouble. Moving the body by pendulum, manipulating the crime scene. But for what purpose? Why do all of that? Maybe Maya knows more than she's letting on.
Okay. Okay. Let's press this one.
And the torches were lit.
Yes, that's how I noticed that the whole scene had changed.
I'm going to say it was the killer who lit the torches. I mean, who else could it be?
The killer probably lit them since it'd be impossible to do any cover-up work in the dark. However, if that's true, there's one thing that still bothers me. Why did the killer go to the effort of moving the body?
That's true. It's hard to see how that would be of any advantage to the killer. The only one who would gain anything from that would be the only person that was at the inner temple, Maya.
It's almost as if the killer was trying to protect Maya.
Very well, let me hear some more about the condition of the crime scene.
All the snow around the stone lantern had been careful. Okay.
So you're saying the killer cleaned up the snow? It did look really odd. The snow was removed in an unnatural-looking rectangular shape around the lantern.
There were a lot of shovels around the inner temple, but they're all really heavy, way too heavy for me to use.
An odd fellow indeed, this killer. Why on earth would anyone want to take snow away?
Well, there's one thing I can think of. Didn't you say that a lot of the victims' blood sprayed onto the snow?
Yeah. The area I collapsed in ended up being splattered.
In other words, the killer's purpose was to hide the bloody snow. I think that's the most reasonable explanation.
Perhaps. However, there's something that's bothering me. If the killer just wanted to hide the snow with blood on it, there was no need to remove that amount.
That's true.
He could have scooped up just the snow that was stained with blood.
It looks like there are some mysteries behind this issue.
But I think this will help explain them.
Okay, let's keep pressing. I guess we'll have to press all of it. So you lost consciousness when you were in the garden, is that right?
Yes, I think it happened when the victim was stabbed.
So then the person that carried you into the inner temple.
It could only have been the killer.
Godot's so quiet.
That's what I think too.
So the killer carried Maya into the inner temple. Okay. Naturally, the killer must have done it, right?
Yes, I think so.
But why would the killer tamper with the crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide.
The truth is, when I saw the crime scene, I felt something.
You did?
Yes, I felt like the killer was hiding the evidence for me. For my sake.
What? Hiding it for you?
Everyone knew that I was the only one at the inner temple that night. If Sister Bikini had come back and looked at the garden...
She may have thought that you had done it.
No, she definitely would have thought so. And you're saying that's why the killer cleaned up the crime scene to make it look like nothing had happened?
Yes, I'm sure of it.
Well, that's certainly an important piece of information. I want you to add that to your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor. I think it was for my sake that the killer cleaned up the evidence of what had happened. But, there's still one piece of evidence that's a little strange then, if he was trying to protect her.
The body of Elise Donan was carried all the way to Hazakura Temple's courtyard. Then at the garden, the real scene of the crime. The snow that we suspect was covered in blood was scooped up and removed. It's reasonable to believe all this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that still seems somewhat odd.
Oh, and what would that be?
You must have figured it out by now, Mr. Godot. It's the message written in blood on the lantern.
Ugh.
It was written very clearly on the white stone lantern. Maya.
Ah!
If the killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion, then why didn't he wipe the writing off the lantern?
You're right. Order, order, order. But Mr. Wright, isn't it a fact that the killer was trying to cover up the crime scene?
Indeed, but it doesn't make much sense to move the body and remove the bloody snow. Then not wipe off the most incriminating thing of all, the bloody writing.
But if that's the case, do you have an explanation for the killer's mysterious behavior? Why would this killer move the body and remove all that snow, but then leave the bloody writing on the lantern?
I don't know what the killer's plan was, but it's a fact that the killer left the writing on the lantern. There must be a reason for it.
Well then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your opinion in the next episode.
Alright guys, we're getting closer.
It's getting so good.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this, and until next time, have a nice day. Bye-bye!